What if I told you that Barron Trump's life is nothing like what you think? For years, he has remained a mystery, rarely seen, never interviewed, and always protected from the media. Unlike other presidential children, Barron has been almost invisible. But why? Some say it's for security. Others believe there's something much bigger at play. What is Melania Trump hiding about her son? Why does Donald Trump barely talk about him? And why do some people believe Barron Trump is being prepared for something much greater than anyone realizes? Stay with us, because in the next few minutes, we're uncovering the secrets behind Barron Trump's hidden life. Secrets the media won't tell you. And trust me, what we found will completely change the way you see him. But the biggest twist? It's connected to a shocking secret about the Trump family that no one has noticed. And we'll reveal that very soon. Barron Trump is not just the youngest member of the Trump family. He might be the most mysterious. While Ivanka, Donald Jr., and Eric have lived their lives in the public eye, Barron has remained in the shadows. No social media, no interviews, and barely any public appearances. But here's where things get even stranger. Why is Barron Trump's childhood so different from other presidential children? What secret role does Melania Trump play in shaping his future? And is he really being groomed for something far bigger than we realize? Over the years, many speculations have surrounded Barron. Some say he's just a regular teenager avoiding the spotlight, while others believe he's being carefully prepared for something the world isn't ready for yet. His towering height, striking resemblance to his father, and his mother's insistence on shielding him from the public eye have only added to the intrigue. But what if I told you that behind all the secrecy, there's a calculated strategy? A strategy that could position Barron as more than just the son of a former U.S. president. One that could place him in a powerful position in the future. We've spent weeks digging through rare footage, secret reports, and expert opinions, and what we found is shocking. Because if the rumors are true, Barron Trump's future could change the course of American history. But before we get to that bombshell, let's go back to where it all began. His early years, his unusual upbringing, and the hidden details that prove he's no ordinary teenager. And trust me, by the time we get to the final reveal, you'll see Barron Trump in a way you never have before. To understand Barron Trump's mysterious present, we need to go back to where it all began. Unlike past presidential children, Barron was raised almost entirely out of the public eye. But this wasn't an accident. This was by design. From the moment Donald Trump took office in 2016, Melania Trump made a highly unusual decision. She refused to move into the White House immediately. Instead, she and Barron stayed in Trump Tower for months. The official reason? Barron needed to finish school. But was that the full story? Why did Melania keep Barron away from the public for so long? Why was he rarely seen with his father during the presidency? And why does Melania still control every detail of his life? Unlike Sasha and Malia Obama, who embraced the spotlight and attended public events, Barron was rarely seen, and when he was, his presence raised even more questions. He was always noticeably taller than his peers. He never spoke in public, not even a single interview. He didn't interact with the press, ever. And yet, sources say that behind closed doors, Barron's life was anything but ordinary. His childhood was carefully crafted. He was the first presidential child to grow up speaking Slovenian, his mother's native language, before English. He attended the most elite private schools and was surrounded by some of the most powerful figures in politics, business, and media. But here's where things take an even stranger turn. Unlike his older siblings, Barron never sought the limelight. While Donald Jr. and Eric became deeply involved in the Trump Organization and Ivanka pursued a political role, Barron was never pushed into the family business. In fact, some believe this was intentional, a deliberate move to keep him separate, preparing him for something bigger. And if you think this is just a coincidence, wait until you hear about the secret skills he's been developing behind the scenes. Because what we discovered next changes everything. Barron's life in Trump Tower. The secrets no one knew. For the first 10 years of his life, Barron lived inside one of the most luxurious penthouses in the world, Trump Tower in New York City. But what many don't know is that his life inside was highly controlled. Melania made sure Barron had his own floor. Unlike most children, Barron wasn't raised in a regular nursery. He had an entire level of the penthouse dedicated to him, complete with golden decor and a personal staff catering to his every need. He wasn't allowed to dress like a normal kid. Melania was known for dressing Barron in tailored suits, something that was highly unusual for a young boy. She wanted him to look and act mature from a very young age. His education was unlike any other presidential child's. Most kids of U.S. presidents attend well-known private schools in Washington, D.C. But Barron? He was different. He continued his schooling in New York, delaying his move to the White House, and even after he moved, he attended St. Andrew's Episcopal School, a school known for its elite and highly specialized curriculum. But what was the reason behind this extreme control? Some believe Melania was preparing Barron for a bigger role than anyone imagined. And what happens next in his life might just prove that theory right. If you thought Barron Trump's early childhood was unusual, just wait until you hear about the strict, unspoken rules that governed his life under Melania's watchful eye. Unlike Donald Trump's other children, who have been vocal, public figures, Barron was raised in near total silence. Why was he so isolated? What secrets has Melania kept hidden from the public? And most importantly, what is Barron being prepared for? Let's start with rule number 1. No public speaking. Unlike Sasha and Malia Obama, who participated in interviews and attended public events, Barron never spoke in public. Not once. No interviews, no statements, no casual conversations caught by the media. Even Tiffany Trump, who was much younger than her older siblings, made occasional public remarks. But Barron? Absolute silence. Why? Some believe Melania deliberately shielded him, ensuring that no one could analyze his words, expressions, or even his voice. Others speculate that Barron's European upbringing, being raised speaking Slovenian at home, made him naturally more reserved in public. Then there's rule number 2. No social media. In an era where almost every celebrity child has an online presence, Barron Trump is completely absent from social media. Donald Trump is known for his controversial tweets. Ivanka Trump, Eric, and Don Jr. all use platforms like Twitter and Instagram for their brands and public statements. But Barron? Nothing. No Instagram. No Twitter. No TikTok. In today's digital world, that level of absence is highly unusual. The real question is, was this his choice? Or was this another calculated decision by Melania? Then comes rule number 3. No ordinary friends. Barron Trump's social circle has been highly controlled from the beginning. While other presidential children often befriend classmates and celebrities, Barron's friendships remain largely a mystery. We do know that he has attended some of the most exclusive private schools in the U.S., where tuition costs over $40,000 a year. He's surrounded by the children of billionaires, diplomats, and world leaders. But there's one name that has surfaced, a close friendship with Tiffany Trump. Unlike his other siblings, Barron seems to have a unique bond with Tiffany, Donald Trump's daughter from his second marriage. They've been spotted together on multiple occasions, And some insiders say Tiffany has played the role of an older sister in his life. But why is this important? Because Tiffany Trump was once considered an outsider in the Trump family, much like Barron. While Don Jr., Ivanka, and Eric were deeply involved in the Trump organization, Tiffany, like Barron, was often absent from family business matters. Could Barron be following a similar path? And now, the biggest question of all. What is Melania really preparing him for? Because there's one theory that could change everything. There's something about Barron Trump that sets him apart from his siblings, and it's not just his towering height or his reserved personality. Some believe that he's being groomed for a future much bigger than anyone realizes. And here's why. First, let's look at his upbringing. Unlike his older siblings, who were raised in the business world, Barron has been trained in a different way. Elite education, foreign languages, and strict media control. This isn't the life of an ordinary celebrity child. This is the life of someone being prepared for power. He speaks fluent Slovenian, making him the only Trump child with deep European ties. He was raised with a far more disciplined and structured upbringing than his older siblings. He has been kept away from scandals, ensuring a clean reputation. Next, let's look at his connection to Melania. Melania Trump isn't just a former First Lady. She's one of the most strategic and private individuals in Trump's inner circle. Unlike Ivanka, who actively participated in her father's administration, Melania has played her cards close to her chest. Some believe that she's keeping Barron separate from the drama of the Trump brand, not to hide him, but to protect him for a future role. And here's the most shocking theory of all. Could Barron Trump be the next political heir of the Trump dynasty? Think about it. Donald Trump's political career changed the course of American politics forever. His older children, Don Jr. and Ivanka, have been deeply involved in his brand. But what if Melania is playing a long-term game with Barron? What if she's ensuring that, years from now, Barron is the one who carries the Trump name into the future? It may sound like speculation now, but political dynasties are nothing new in American history. The Kennedys built a multi-generational political empire. The Bush family saw both a father and son become president. The Clintons extended their influence beyond one generation. Could Melania's long-term strategy be to place Barron in a similar position of power? And if that's true, then everything we've seen so far, the secrecy, the discipline, the controlled exposure, was all part of the plan. The real question is, will Barron Trump step into that role? Or will he choose to walk away from the Trump legacy forever? One thing's for sure. The truth about Barron Trump's future is far more mysterious than anyone realizes. And in the next few minutes, we're going to reveal something even more shocking about Barron that could change everything. By now, we've uncovered the strict rules Melania Trump enforced to keep Barron out of the spotlight. But what happens next? There's one undeniable truth. Barron Trump is no ordinary teenager. He's the son of one of the most controversial presidents in U.S. history. He's been kept in isolation like no other Trump child. And he's been raised with a level of discipline that suggests a bigger purpose. But here's what's really surprising. Donald Trump has rarely spoken about Barron. Melania has refused to let him be used as a political pawn. Yet, despite this silence, some sources claim Barron's future is already set in motion. Could it be that Barron Trump will be the one to truly redefine the Trump legacy? Let's break down the three most shocking theories about his future. Theory number 1. Barron Trump will enter politics, but differently, 1800 to 2000. Many expect that if Barron enters politics, he will simply follow in his father's footsteps. But what if that's not the plan at all? Think about it. Donald Trump's political career was built on controversy, bold statements, and an aggressive, outspoken approach. His supporters loved him for it, but his critics found him polarizing. Barron, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. He's quiet, reserved, and avoids the spotlight. This means he could appeal to an entirely different audience. While Trump built his brand on charisma and dominance, Barron could take a more calculated, intellectual approach, attracting moderates, young voters, and even those who disliked his father. Could Barron Trump be the next generation leader that reshapes the entire Trump legacy? Theory 2. Barron Trump's business takeover. While Don Jr. and Eric have been running the Trump organization, there's a growing theory that Barron will eventually take over the empire. And here's why. He's being groomed differently than his siblings. He has access to private international connections his father never had. He's growing up in a world where the Trump brand is evolving. What if Melania's real plan has nothing to do with politics at all? What if she's ensuring that Barron takes control of Trump's global business empire, rebranding it away from politics and making it more powerful than ever? Consider this. Trump's real estate empire is international. Melania's European connections could allow Barron to expand in ways Trump never did. Barron's complete avoidance of scandals means he could be seen as a more acceptable face of the Trump empire. Could Barron Trump become a silent, strategic billionaire, controlling everything without ever stepping into the political arena? And now, the most shocking theory of all. What if Barron Trump wants nothing to do with politics or business? There's growing speculation that Barron is actively distancing himself from the Trump brand. Unlike his siblings, who thrive in public, Barron has shown zero interest in fame. He rarely appears at events. He avoids interviews at all costs. He has no known public aspirations. What if his real plan is to disappear completely? Many believe that once he turns 18, Barron might move abroad, change his identity, and leave the Trump legacy behind forever. Could he be the first Trump to walk away from power instead of chasing it? Or is this part of a long-term strategy to make the world believe he's not interested, only to make a shocking return when no one expects it? As we near the end of this story, one thing is clear. Barron Trump is the biggest mystery in modern politics. He's the only Trump who has remained completely silent. His future remains entirely unknown. And the real truth about what he's being prepared for is still hidden. But here's what we do know. Whatever Barron Trump decides to do, whether in politics, business, or disappearing completely, it will change history forever. And the biggest question remains, will Barron Trump become the most powerful Trump of all? Or will he be the one who finally breaks the cycle and walks away from the legacy? There's only one way to find out. Subscribe now, because in our next video, we'll reveal even more shocking secrets about the Trump family that you've never heard before.